Spine of every book is whispering low. Sunlight through the tall windows in a row. Someone turns a page across the room. Ceiling fan is spinning afternoon. Wooden chair is worn from all who sat. I could stay forever just like that. Silence here is not the empty kind. It is full of every peaceful mind. Libraries hold what we leave behind. Library afternoon, the hours drift. Every shelf a quiet little gift. I am somewhere between page and dream. Library afternoon is what I mean. Librarian stamps the card with care. Potted fern is growing near the stair. Somebody left a bookmark made of lace. Children whispering stories face to face. I found a novel no one ever read. Dust along the cover gently spread. There's magic in the quietest place, where the world slows down to walking pace. Every book a warm and open space. Library afternoon, the hours drift. Every shelf a quiet little gift. I am somewhere between page and dream. Library afternoon is what I mean. Some people find their calm beside the sea, but wooden shelves are paradise to me. The hush between the pages holds me close. This is the quiet I love most. Library afternoon, the light goes gold. Every spine a universe to hold. I was looking for a place to land. Library afternoon took my hand. Pages turning soft, sunlight from a loft. Wooden chair and hush. Afternoon and no rush. Buckets full of tulips in a line. Yellow, pink, and something close to wine. Woman wrapping stems with brown paper. Every bouquet taller than the neighbor. Dew is sitting on the petal tips. Morning air is cool upon my lips. I came for one, but I am leaving with three. Flowers have a way of calling me. Color is the cheapest therapy. Morning market flowers in my arms. Every petal has its tiny charms. Walking home with flowers give me more. Daisies next to roses on the stand. Sunflowers too heavy for my hand. Lavender in bundles tied with twine, smelling like a memory of mine. Vendor says these came in with the dawn, freshest things before the day moves on. A kitchen vase can change the whole room's mood. Flowers turn the ordinary good. Beauty was always in the neighborhood. Morning market flowers in my arms. Every petal has its tiny charms. Walking home with color to the door. Morning market flowers give me more. People spend their money on so much, but a bouquet is a gentle touch. $5 for a week of joy. Flowers are the simplest kind of ploy. Flowers on my sill. Every stem a tiny act of will. I am filling up my world with bloom. Morning market flowers light the room. Tulips by the bed, colors softly spread. Petals on the floor, flowers at the door. Cardboard boxes stacked beneath the tent. Every table tells you where it went. Teapot with a chip along the rim. Postcards from a stranger known as Jim. Vinyl records fanning in a crate. I arrived too early, but I wait. Other people's histories for sale. Every object has a little tale. Finding treasure on the smallest scale. Flea market treasure in my hands. Somebody's old life I understand. Every chip and scratch a story deep. Flea market treasure mine to keep. Selling quilts her mother made. Patches of a life in light and shade. Wooden frame with someone's wedding day. Smiling strangers from a time away. I bought a mug that says good morning sun. $2 and my weekend has begun. We are all just passing things along, keeping something old from going wrong. Every flea market is a gentle song. Flea market treasure in my hands. Somebody's old life I understand. Every chip and scratch a story deep. Flea market treasure mine to keep. The brand new stuff will never have this glow. The weight of being loved from years ago. I hold the teapot up against the light, and everything feels perfectly right. Treasure filling up my bag. Every little find a gentle brag. I am taking home what time forgot. Flea market treasure is my sweetest lot. Teapot on the shelf, stories by itself. Vintage glow and grace, treasure in its place. Lying on the grass with both arms wide, clouds are making shapes I cannot hide. That one looks like someone waving slow, another like a rabbit in the snow. Dandelion seeds are floating by, nothing in the world but me and sky. I forgot what I was worried for. The sky above is such an open door. Lying here I do not need much more. Cloud watching drifting through the blue, shapes that only I can see right through. Afternoon, suspended soft and wide, cloud watching with the world outside. Ant is crawling up along my knee, grass is tickling where I cannot see. Somewhere past the tree line, planes fly high, drawing tiny lines across the sky. I could name the clouds, but I prefer letting them be anything they were. Adults forget to look above their heads. We trade the sky for ceilings and for beds, but all the beauty lives where nothing treads. Cloud watching drifting through the blue, shapes that only I can see right through. Afternoon, suspended soft and wide, cloud watching with the world outside. When I was small, this was everything. A summer sky and songs the birds would sing. I think the child in me was always right. The sky is worth an afternoon of light. between. Cloud watching is the softest thing I have seen. Shapes across the blue, grass and morning dew, sky so wide and free. Clouds are watching me. Watering the basil after 5. Evening light makes everything alive. Tomatoes turning red upon the vine. I planted them in March and they are mine. Dirt beneath my nails and I am proud. Garden is the opposite of loud. I was never good with growing things, but the garden taught me what it brings. Patience sounds like evening when it sings. Evening garden softly closing day. Every leaf has something kind to say. I am growing right beside the green. Evening garden knows what I mean. Fireflies appearing one by one. Sprinkler left on after I was done. Neighbor leans across the fence to chat, showing me her roses and her cat. Mint is spreading everywhere it can. Growing wild was always nature's plan. The sky is turning purple at the seam. Garden feels like living in a dream. Nothing is as simple as it seems. Evening garden softly closing day. Every leaf has something kind to say. I am growing right beside the green. Evening garden knows what I mean. I came out here to water, but I stayed. The evening garden gently persuade. Some things do not need a bigger stage, just soil and light on every page. Evening garden holding twilight close. Basil, mint, and one determined rose. I have never felt more rooted here. Evening garden takes away my fear. Fireflies and dusk, garden soil and trust. Watering can down. Peace in my small town. Sunlight through the curtain folds so slow. Coffee on the counter getting cold. Barefoot on the kitchen tile I stand. Toast is burning, but I understand. Sparrows at the window tapping glass. Mornings like this never seem to last. Maybe I should let the clock just spin. No appointments and no discipline. Something tells me this is where I begin. Linen morning, carry me through. Nothing in the world I need to do. Soft and simple like the sky outside. Linen morning, let me slide. Laundry drying on the balcony. Neighbor humming something old and free. Pages turning in a paperback. Lemon water and a window cracked. Dust is dancing in the afternoon. I forgot what day it is. And soon, maybe I was rushing all this time, looking for a mountain I could climb. Turns out all I needed was this rhyme. Linen morning, carry me through. Nothing in the world I need to do. Soft and simple like the sky outside. Linen morning, let me slide. I used to think that still meant stuck, but now I see it clearly. Slowing down is not bad luck. It is living sincerely. Linen morning, wrap around my bones. Every quiet corner feels like home. I am right where I am meant to stay. Linen morning saved my day. Curtains sway and light. Coffee finally right. Nothing left to chase. Morning holds its place. Gravel pathway crunching underfoot. Label says this flower took deep root. Greenhouse glass is foggy from the heat. Orchids hanging delicate and sweet. Bench beneath a magnolia shade. Somebody carved a heart where lovers stayed. I come here when my thoughts need open air, wandering without a map or care. Every leaf reminds me I belong there. Botanical garden, walking through the green, softest afternoon I have ever seen. Every petal has a story told. Botanical garden turns me bold. roses in his chair. Children counting fish below the bridge, ivy climbing up the garden ridge. I bought a postcard at the little shop, wishing that this feeling never stops. Nature does not hurry, but it grows. Maybe that is everything I know. Patience blooming everywhere it goes. Botanical garden, walking through the green, softest afternoon I have ever seen. Every petal has a story told. Botanical garden turns me bold. I planted worry in the soil last spring, but only flowers came from everything. This garden knows what I keep trying to learn, that beauty grows with every turn. Botanical garden, underneath the sun, I have found the place where I am done. Done with rushing, done with standing still. Botanical garden, bending to my will. Magnolia shade, postcard that I made. Gravel path and green, softest place I have been. Starter bubbling in the morning jar, feeding it like tending to a star. Flour on the counter, dust on dust. Sourdough is all about the trust. Kneading with my palms for 20 minutes, feeling every air pocket within. The recipe says wait, and I obey. Good things always take the longest way. Patience is the baker's holiday. Sourdough Saturday, I watch it rise. Golden crust beneath my waiting eyes. Oven warming up the little room. Sourdough Saturday, chasing every bloom. Timer goes and I can barely wait. Pulling out the loaf at 8:30. Crackling sounds like music as it cools. Slicing through with all my kitchen tools. Butter melting into every pore. I have never loved a bread this more. The store-bought kind can never touch this feel. Something I created, something real. Every loaf a homemade kind of zeal. Sourdough Saturday, I watch it rise. Golden crust beneath my waiting eyes. Oven warming up the little room. Sourdough Saturday, chasing every bloom. My starter is 300 days old now. I named it and I keep my daily vow. Some people think it is a little strange, but baking bread has given me my take a shelter from the storm. I am eating everything I feel. Sourdough Saturday, this bread is real. Crust and crumb and steam. Saturday, like a dream. Starter in the jar, baking who we are. Basil in the terracotta pot, so small, leaning toward the light against the wall. Rosemary is growing tall and thin, a pinch of leaf, and breathe the whole world in. Morning sun is warming up the sill. Everything outside is standing still. I never thought a windowsill could teach that everything I wanted was in reach. Growing slow is its own kind of speech. Windowsill herbs in the morning glow. Tiny garden telling me to slow. Green and steady rooted in the light. Windowsill herbs make everything right. Time is flowering purple near the edge. I move the mint beside the window ledge. Water from the jar I saved last night. Droplets catching every bit of bright. Recipe says 2 sprigs of what I grew. Cooking with my garden feels brand new. Something about tending little things gives my ordinary day its wings. Every morning the rosemary sings. Windowsill herbs in the morning glow. Tiny garden telling me to slow. Green and steady rooted in the light. Windowsill herbs make everything right. I do not need a field or fancy plot, just these 3 pots and what I have got. The smallest garden holds the biggest truth. Growing something kind is growing youth. Windowsill herbs in the afternoon. Sunlight shifting, gentle like a tune. I am rooted here beside the green. Windowsill herbs, the softest life I have seen. Basil in the sun, morning just begun. Water dripping slow. Watch the garden grow. windows on the sidewalk shining wide. Everything is washed on every side. Leaves are dripping heavy, wet and bright. Air is clean like someone turned the light. Warm is crossing pavement, heading home. After the rain, I want to roam. The world looks new when water clears the dust. Everything I see, I wanna trust. After the rain is readjust. After the rain, everything is clear. Colors that I forgot are finally here. Stepping out into the fresh new day. After the rain, I find my way. Rainbow barely there above the trees. Children splashing, jumping to their knees. Shop owner wiping down the outdoor chair. Is floating in the air. Umbrella closing tucked beneath my arm. After the rain, the world has charm. I used to hide when storm clouds came around, but now I know what waits on higher ground. Every storm has beauty to be found. After the rain, everything is clear. Colors that I forgot are finally here. Stepping out into the fresh new day. After the rain, I find my way. The rain was never something to avoid. It was the world becoming overjoyed. Washing clean the things we could not see. Setting every little detail free. Every single shadow holds the light. I am stepping forward, fresh and true. After the rain, the world is new. Puddles catching sky, clouds are passing by. Air so fresh and clean, brightest day I have seen. Bell above the door rings when I walk. Flower dust like snowflakes when they talk. Sourdough is stacked behind the glass. Every loaf a gift that time has passed. Baker knows my name and how I take 2 croissants and 1 small carrot cake. There is something ancient in the bread. Hands that knead the dough have always said, take your time, the morning lies ahead. Small town bakery, where I belong. Every visit feels like coming home. Warm inside, the ovens never lie. Small town bakery hears me sigh. Corner table where I always sit. Coffee and the crossword bit by bit. Couple at the counter holding hands. Baby sleeping in a wicker stand. Sunlight through the window hits the bread. Golden crust nothing beats the smell of pastry on these little streets. Comfort is the simplest of feats. Small town bakery, where I belong. Every visit feels like coming home. Warm inside, the ovens never lie. Small town bakery hears me sigh. The recipe was passed from hand to hand across the years, across this little land. Some things should never change or grow. A bakery is all you need to know. Small town bakery, keeper of my heart. Every crumb a tiny work of art. I will keep returning, rain or shine. Small town bakery, forever mine. Bell rings at the door, flour on the floor, bread still warm to hold, stories never old. Droplets racing down the window pane. I am picking winners once again. Book is open, chapter 22. Tea has gone from hot to lukewarm too. Blanket tucked around my folded knees. Rain is saying everything I please. Some days were made for staying in, listening to where the drops begin. Every rainy hour is a win. Rainy window reading afternoon. Pages turning softly in my room. Outside pours, but inside I am dry. Rainy window teaching me to fly. Character is falling deep in love. I am smiling at the words above. Thunder rumbles gentle far away, giving the sky permission to play. Bookmark is a flower that I pressed. Chapter ends and I feel truly blessed. Stories take me places that I need. Every rainy day becomes a seed, growing into worlds I get to read. Rainy window reading afternoon. Pages turning softly in my room. Outside pours, but inside I am dry. Rainy window teaching me to fly. I used to see the rain and feel so small. Now I see a curtain for it all. Behind the gray, the world is soft and true, and every chapter starts brand new. hearts on the glass. Afternoon will pass, bookmark in its place. Rain upon my face. Taking the long road past the park, street lights coming on before the dark, leaving all the emails at the desk. Evening there is better than the rest, passing by the deli where they wave. Every detour is a day I save. I used to race to get back to my door, but now I see there's so much more. The walk itself is what I am walking for. Slow way home through the quiet streets. Every step is where the evening meets. I am not in any kind of rush. Slow way home in the gentle hush. Flower shop is closing down the gate. Owner says goodnight, it is getting late. Someone practices a violin, melody escaping from within. Moon is rising early, white and round. My footsteps are the only sound. The shortcut saves me maybe 7 minutes, but the long way home has got no limits. Every evening walk, a world within it. Slow way home through the quiet streets. Every step is where the evening meets. I am not in any kind of rush. Slow way home in the gentle hush. Somebody should write a book on this, the art of choosing what you miss. I miss nothing on the longer road. Every step has lightened up my load. Slow way home, I am almost there. Evening wrapped around me like a prayer. I have been arriving all along. Slow way home where I belong. Streetlights and the moon, evening like a tune. Door is up ahead, nothing left unsaid. 1, 2, 3. Yarn is looping through my patient hands. Fire is popping like a little band. Scarf is growing longer every row. Outside there is fresh and fallen snow. Clock is ticking on the mantel shelf. I am finally keeping time with myself. Every stitch a tiny meditation. Needles click in quiet conversation. Winter nights need no justification. knitting by the fire, warm and slow, letting all the tangled worries go. Loop by loop, I am finding peace tonight. Knitting by the fire feels so right. Hot chocolate cooling on the arm, wooden chair creaking with its charm. Cat is curled up near the firelight, purring through the quiet wind tonight. Pattern says to purl and then to knit. I mess it up and I am fine with it. I do not need perfection in my hands, just the feeling that somebody understands. Warmth is woven into simple strands. Knitting by the fire, warm and slow, letting all the tangled worries go. Loop by loop, I am finding peace tonight. Knitting by the fire feels so right. My grandmother taught me late one night, her hands were steady in the light. She said the best things take their time, every row a quiet rhyme. Knitting by the fire through the years, every stitch is woven through my tears. Warmth I make with these two hands of mine. Knitting by the fire, I am fine. Yarn and firelight, winter holding tight, needles soft and slow, nowhere else to go. Corduroy and olive hanging near the back. Someone loved this coat and left it on the rack. Pockets deep enough to hold my fists, sleeves that smell of cedar and of mist. Mirror says it fits like it was mine. $15 for a lifelong find. Other people's clothes hold other lives, zippers that remember long car drives. Thrift store magic is how beauty thrives. Thrift store coat around my shoulders tight. Autumn wind can blow with all its might. I am warm inside a stranger's care. Thrift store coat and crispy autumn air. Found a movie ticket in the seam, dated 1990 like a dream. Someone watched a film and kept the stub. Now it lives inside my Tuesday love. Collar popped against the evening chill. Walking home along the autumn hill. New things never have this kind of weight. Stories sewn in every single trait. Second hand is always worth the wait. Thrift store coat around my shoulders tight. Autumn wind can blow with all its might. I am warm they may. Stay a little longer on your frame. Every worn out coat deserves a name. Thrift store coat, I carry you with pride. Every autumn walk you are by my side. Whoever wore you first, I hope they know thrift store coat still has a ways to go. Corduroy and leaves, autumn evening breeze, pockets full of time, second hand and mine. Spine of every book is whispering low. Sunlight through the tall windows in a row. Someone turns a page across the room. Ceiling fan is spinning afternoon. Wooden chair is worn from all who sat. I could stay forever just like that. Silence here is not the empty kind. It is full of every peaceful mind. Libraries hold what we leave behind. Library afternoon, the hours drift. Every shelf a quiet little gift. I am somewhere between page and dream. Library afternoon is what I mean. Librarian stamps the card with care. Potted fern is growing near the stair. Somebody left a bookmark made of lace. Children whispering stories face to face. I found a novel no one ever read. Dust along the cover gently spread. There is magic in the quietest place, where the world slows down to walking pace. Every book a warm and open space. Library afternoon, the hours drift. Every shelf a quiet little gift. I am somewhere between page and dream. Library afternoon is what I mean. Some people find their calm beside the sea, but wooden shelves are paradise to me. The hush between the pages holds me close. This is the quiet I love most. Gold. Every spine a universe to hold. I was looking for a place to land. Library afternoon. pages turning soft, sunlight from a loft, wooden chair and hush, afternoon.